Officially welcome, everyone. This is day 2 of our year-end reflection masterclass, and we're going to be working with reflecting, reviewing, restoring ourselves, and most of all, receiving today. I know there are many of you who were not able to make it yesterday. You'll be watching the recording. I'll be reviewing and weaving in what we experienced yesterday as we move in today into more of an embodiment experience. So we're reflecting upon the year that we all just experienced. And today I'm going to be taking you through an embodiment process. Yesterday I took you all through a process that I call the mountaintop. And today I'm going to take you through a process called the bridge. So relax. I always say that we transform the most effectively to the degree that we are the most relaxed. So I want you all to feel very relaxed today, feel very safe. What you all know, for those of you who are just getting to know me and this community, safety is one of our highest values and qualities, so that we feel the safety to be transparent, to bring all of ourselves, to be vulnerable. I always feel that it's the greatest honor and privilege if someone shares, something that you might have had hidden back in the recesses or the closet that you don't typically or often share, or maybe never share with others. For those of you, again, just getting to know me, I've been a spiritual therapist for many, many years. And one of the things that I appreciate the most about working one-on-one and in groups like this is when someone divulges or shares with me and then they say, I've actually never shared this with anyone before. I just feel it's such a privilege to get to walk with each other when we're truly embracing all of ourselves and all of each other. So it's a safe space to be today. Give you a quick little intro for those of you just getting to know me. I am Suzi Lula. I've been a spiritual therapist for many, many years. And as I said yesterday, I am a best-selling author. I've written a book called The Motherhood Evolution. I do host a podcast. It's called Permission to Thrive. Just many other things. I host an online women's community with Dr. Shefali called Luminous. She has written many, many New York Times bestsellers, The Conscious Parent being one of them. So I have that honor. I'm on the board of trustees at the Agape International Spiritual Center. So there's a lot of things that I'm offering the world, and yet, and still, as I said yesterday, truly why I am here in front of all of you and walking with you all today, I believe, is because of the transformation I made as a mother. And I say it all the time, and it never ceases to touch me, because I'm literally sitting in front of you as a different being than when I started out as a mom. And I feel that Will, our son, is the beneficiary of all of my transformation. And why I bring that up is because professionally I'm very blessed and want this message to get out to more and more and more and more people. But I always say that your own transformation is your own greatest life credential. And that is whether you are a parent seeking to repair or deepen your relationship with your children or your spouse or a partner, or you are a coach. Most individuals that jump into my coaching certification are coming for your own personal growth. But whether or not you're a coach, a therapist, you're seeking to deepen a particular area in your life, what I have come to know is that it is your own transformation that is your greatest credential. So I offer you that, just saying that if I can transform and heal and complete some of the generational patterns that I was experienced, then you can do it, and then some. So if I can do it, you can do it. So welcome. Kind of gave you an overview. I'm going to take you guys through a guided process today, talk to you a little bit about my certification program for any of you who are looking to go on a deep journey, a transformational journey in 2025. And then I'm going to introduce you to some of my coaches and graduates who I will say the same about. It is their transformation that is enriching their life, and it is their transformation that touches me and that makes me know that I could call upon any one of these graduates and coaches at any time, whether they sought to become a coach or whether they were seeking to do this for their own personal life. What I can promise you is that they've made such a life-altering and life-changing transformation that it's just an honor to introduce you all and just be getting to know each other here in this way. So let's just jump in. I'm going to introduce to you my beloved husband. In my family, for whatever reason, we call each other Lovey. It started off as Love. But my husband has an honorary doctorate. So I'm Lovey, but he's Dr. Lovey. So for those of you who have never met him, this is my husband, Jamie Lula. He's a really extraordinary singer-songwriter. And for those of you who will do certification, he will be going back through again. And so we'll get some of the music live. And so he's going to be singing today. And so as we just prepare ourselves for this guided process, this is going to be a process, as I said, called the bridge. And I want you to just allow yourself to be so relaxed, so receptive. There's nothing for you to do. There's nothing you need to figure out during this time. We're going to allow Jamie's music, his voice, the lyrics to wash over us, to move us from our head into our heart, to speak to our heart. You just receive, 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 receive. Allow these lyrics to speak to you in the way that you need to hear them today. And then afterwards, just keep your eyes closed and I will take you through a guided process where we will continue this reflection process that we started yesterday and move from the reflection stage into the embodiment stage. So hopefully the next 5, 6, 8 minutes for you will be the most delicious part of your day. So I'm going to mute myself and then just ask you, Lovey, whenever you feel ready, to unmute yourself.
What if it's true? You have everything you need. What if it's true? You could live your wildest dreams. Will you run and hide or go along for the ride? Test the current and tide in the ocean of possibility. What if you knew? What if you knew? What if you knew that the brilliance you're mining is you? What if you knew? What if you knew that the infinite thriving is you? What if it's true that there's never need for shame? What if it's true that there's power in your pain? Will you run and hide or go along for the ride? Test the current and tide in the ocean of possibility. What if you knew? What if you knew? What if you knew that the brilliance you're mining is you? What if you knew? What if you knew that the infinite thriving is you? Shadow and light, yin and the yang, are all part of you. The past is the past. We all make mistakes. It isn't your truth. What if you knew? What if you knew? What if you knew that the brilliance you're mining is you? What if you knew? What if you knew that the infinite striving is you? What if you knew? What if you knew that your soul's so much larger than you? What if you knew? What if you knew your design is divine? Yes, it's true. What if you knew? What if you knew? What if you knew? What if you knew? What if you knew?
Mm. Thank you. It's incredible how music can take us to the heart of us, to the essence of us. So we just allow those beautiful, truthful words, what if you knew, to resonate in your own heart. What if you had been told the days of your life, the brilliance that you're mining is within you? You're brilliant. You're radiant. You're light. So we're allowing that truth to land upon the place within your heart that actually resonates with this truth. You are brilliant. You are radiant. You are light. You are whole. There is nothing missing or lacking about you, though you might sometimes think that there is. You have everything you need within your own heart. And these next few moments will allow you the most important aspect, which is to access the brilliance within yourself, access the wisdom within yourself. For without the access to the aspects of yourself, they remain dormant. So we're setting our intention to create such a safe space within our heart that these places of wholeness and prosperity and abundance, maybe some of the places within you that have felt hidden, will peek out today. And so we find ourselves on a bridge. Just imagine, envision, you're on a beautiful bridge and it happens to be crossing over a pristine lake. This lake is so crystalline. It's so calm. It's so peaceful. The sun is shining, and the rays of the sun are reflecting off of this beautiful, pristine water that is clear, that is still as still can be. The skies are so blue that the light and the rays of the sun, as they emanate from the sun and reflect off of this pristine lake, catch your eye. And from this bridge, you look over and you can see and you catch a reflection of yourself in this lake. And the rays of the sun on this particular day, at this particular time, just catch you in a way where you actually see the reflection of your soul, your essence, your innocence, your brilliance, whether someone has told you this in your life, Whether you've never heard it before, whether you desperately need to hear it, you happen to catch when you catch your reflection. Oh my gosh, I'm so much greater and larger than my human self, my survival self, the part of me that is seeking to survive while on planet Earth. I'm a soul, I'm an essence, I'm infinite. And I'm catching the light that I am is reflected by the light off of this pristine lake. And as I'm catching and touching into this place within me that is my soul, that is so peaceful, it's actually holding with such compassion any of the places within you that have ever doubted this about yourself. You find yourself being so held. You feel so safe. You feel so peaceful. And as you're seeing this reflection, you begin to notice, oh, I'm at the center of this bridge. I'm in the middle of this bridge. And when you look back to one side of the lake where the land is, you see where you've come from this year. You look back, you see the journey you've traveled since the last holiday season, since last year this time. I see the distance I've journeyed, the experiences. I'm becoming aware of what this year had for me. Perhaps you're seeing some themes of the year. Perhaps this year had to do with relationships or career, children, spouses, letting goes, separations, losses, grief. Perhaps there's a theme, perhaps there's a few themes. But you're looking back, and you're looking back from the soul essence part of you that has so much compassion for the journey that you've traveled. It celebrates all the wins that you experienced this year, and it's holding you in the depths of its compassion for any of the grief or losses or pain. It's holding the pain so closely that you are hearing those words, what if there's power in your pain? What if there's never need for shame? And you're just beginning to ask what meaning this year had in the larger chapter and book of your life. You're asking for the meaning. And as you're listening, you're recognizing again, oh, I'm at the center of this bridge. I'm looking back over my year's experiences. And when I look to the other direction, the direction forward that I'm walking, oh my goodness, I begin to see that I'm walking in the direction of more light than I could ever have imagined. Imagine if you are walking into your own infinite potential, your own infinite possibilities. You begin to become aware that there is a calling in your heart. There is a calling in your soul. We are all wired and coded to expand and grow. A child is encoded to go from crawling to walking, walking to running. There's nothing that we have to do to teach a child to want to walk, to want to run. It's encoded. There's a place in your soul that as long as you are on earth, you want to expand, you want to grow, you want to experience the richness that this life has to offer you. You want to experience these rich depth qualities of relationships or career or finance or whatever it is, health. And you recognize I'm walking in that direction. And what if I was being called into more expression of the light that I am that I've ever allowed myself to express before? What would that be like? What is the version of you that is standing fully, unapologetically in your light, in your calling, in your radiance? What is that version of yourself? And begin to just allow that version of yourself to reveal itself to you. Who are you when you are unapologetically about embodying the light that you are, where you are not dimming your light, where you are not hiding your light, even from yourself? What is that next version of you? What is that next ideation of you? How are you being called to step up, rise up? What would be so meaningful in your life if by next year, this time, 2025, you were looking back and you felt so soul satisfied, so soul fulfilled, that you allowed yourself to invest in that calling, embody that calling. And then to do so, you recognize again from being in the center of this bridge, in order to step so fully into the light that you are, you look back into these past experiences and you dedicate yourself to walking that past version of yourself with you, hand in hand, over this bridge. You dedicate yourself to walk this older vision of yourself, former vision of yourself, hand in hand. No judgments, no criticisms, no shaming. You walk hand in hand with the places inside of you that are still learning. You walk hand in hand with the places inside of you that might still be hurting, that might still be grieving, that might still be growing. You don't leave any parts of you behind, except the parts that you have lovingly outgrown. But you commit, you dedicate yourself to walking hand in hand, arm in arm, home in yourself, with safety and compassion, and providing for yourself that which will allow you to step fully into the light that is calling you, the soul's calling that is within you. You're committing to yourself to heal any places that are still hurting, so that they may come into the light of your own awareness, the light of your own consciousness, the light of your own heart, and simultaneously be available for you to truly manifest in this physical world all that you are as a spiritual being. And so just lastly, before we open our eyes, you just listen. Maybe there's something calling for you to heal. And maybe there's that soul's calling that is calling you forward, that is calling you up. So you listen. Anything that is calling you to heal, and anything that your soul is calling for from you. And then whenever you're ready, gently open your eyes. For those of you listening to the recording, you write in your journal. For those of you who are able to be here live, I would so appreciate it if you would write in the chat something that you know is calling you to heal, to continue to tend to nurture, to nourish, a place inside of you that you might be willing to reveal here. And then a place inside of you that's calling you. What is your soul? How is your soul trying to get your attention to this next version, this next ideation of yourself? And so you're just taking your time. You either write something in your journal, write something here in the chat. Take all the time you need and keep listening. The most important aspect is that this is something that is real to you, that is meaningful to you, that matters to you. Some of the things I've worked with in my life are seemingly probably so unimportant to someone else. It wouldn't even maybe get on their radar, but it's important to me. Many of you just went through an inner child course together, and I've been working on a particular part of me that was very pushed as an adolescent in piano. And just in a few weeks, it's incredible to me that this part of me now, because I have spent a little bit of practice releasing this part of me from any pressure, it's like a whole new version of me is birthing, and it feels amazing. But even as recently as this morning, in my meditation this morning, I'm filled with how to nourish and nurture and take that pressure off and give this part of me a life, birthing into that next ideation of me. So I'm going to read some of these if you're watching the recording. My soul is nudging me to see, shine, and be my authentic self, to know I am cherished and I matter just the way I am. Just to feel, again, I've shared with you, and for any of you who are coaches or parents, our clients, our children, our spouses, ourselves, I know you've heard it a million times, but it is true that we just want to be received and know that we are exquisite exactly as we are, and to provide that for all the different places within us. I love that, Kara, that you are cherished and you matter just the way you are. Love it. Christina, I am here to heal self-abandonment. You are my girlfriend. I'm just going to say I have worked with self-abandonment in my lifetime. So I'm not seeing you exactly on the screen. I'm looking for you, Christina, but I gotta tell you, you my girl. Anybody else that has ever worked with self-abandonment, my heart goes out to you. I have worked with this. I've shared this a lot, but indulge me for a second. Sorry if it's redundant to you. So my husband Jamie's on here today. I've shared this. I have worked with abandonment issues so deep that even as recently as early on, since we were married, well, it's not recent now, it's been like 25 years, but when we were first together, and we would get, both of us being reactive at the same time. It probably never happens to any of you guys in your relationships, but in my relationship, it happened a couple of times where we were both triggered and reactive at the same time. And back in the day, my husband was actually the healthy one. And he would say, like, textbook with, I don't know if it was with compassion in his voice, but I'm not, I don't know. You'll have to jump on Lovey if you're here. But he would say to me, I don't want to say things I don't mean. I don't want to say things I'm going to regret. So I'm going to go take a drive. I'll be back in an hour. Right? That's so healthy, isn't it? But me, the girl that had abandonment issues, heard the health, I heard the well being, but still in my little girl heart, I was like, it took everything in me not to go run after him and go, please, please don't. So very long extended way of saying that I have worked with self abandonment, and to the degree that I kind of do my own research with clients and students, and I will say with the busyness of our life in 2024, 2025, this era that we're in, it is a tall order to be very present for ourselves, to be supportive of ourselves, to dedicate ourselves not to self-shame, not to self-sabotage. All of that goes into the healing of self-abandonment, to be your own, to have your own back to such a degree that you feel solid inside of yourself and sovereign inside of yourself. So anybody else that can relate to me and Christina, welcome to the healing of the self-abandonment. Oh, I like seeing some hands up. I like it. I like it. For any of you who choose to do the certification, I can guarantee you that after 5 months, you will not abandon again. That I will. You'll have my personal money back guaranteed promise. Because if I can do it, you can do it. Devin, relaxed contentment, knowing all is well. Beautiful. Heal from within so I can radiate my light. Another comrade on the journey. Give my soul self all the support it needs. Exactly. Called to be even more authentically me, and liberating myself of putting myself in the box of what others think I should be, or what I think others think I should be. Oh Lord. Well, we're going to have some great classes. That's all I can say. I feel like I've been on every one of your journeys. I feel like follow the yellow brick road. We might as well all just hold hands over this bridge. Kariana, to continue fostering my inner safety so that my creativity can explode, particularly in my career as I shift from a very typical way of doing it to making it playful and meaningful and world changing. I'm with you. I'm with you on that. Nudging to heal self-worth. That goes back to self-abandonment. Been there. To know and embody that I am worthy. Excellent. I've worked on worthiness so much that I have an entire class called Worthy. And for those of you who join the certification, you get that course. Worthy is part of certification. Give myself love, to be generous to myself so I can show up for all those in my life, to pray for myself, to be generous with myself. Brilliant. Here to heal, being seen. I love this so much. I'm worthy to receive, and that my preferences matter without sacrificing myself. Brilliant. I'm here to heal scarcity consciousness. I feel like I relate to every single one of you. Anybody else here to heal scarcity consciousness? Not having enough and thinking that we are not enough. Scarcity consciousness is at the heart of most of our pain and suffering. Who said Boomy? I'm with you on that, girl. I just realized that my soul's projects extend beyond physical life. I want to be more of service. And even though I'm not seemingly doing that much now, I actually know you, Sally. So I know that you are doing very much. I can be of service forever. And I want to just say a note, and maybe Sally, maybe you'll come on and share, but I do want to share that Sally has gone through this certification. And one of the things when you're talking about self-worth and scarcity and self-abandonment and all the things, one of the things that I've learned is that some of the qualities that we are all gifted, I didn't always know how to honor those qualities within myself, the qualities of being. And I overlooked them and I I devalued them because the world told me maybe making money, whatever the world told me was the thing that was valuable. I discredited some of the being qualities within me. And so when I read what Sally just wrote and she's saying, I'm not doing that much now, I just want to call Sally out for those of you who will get to know her in certification, excuse me, or who have taken certification. One of the many things that Sally does is she's in the choir at the Agape International Spiritual Center. And for any of you who have never live streamed or come to Agape, please do so. But on Choir Sunday, I always love seeing Sally in the choir. And I just need to look up at you and see you're always smiling, and there's always this radiance that comes out of your eyes. And I take the point in the moment to share this because I think that it can be indicative of many of us that we railroad over the qualities of us that actually make an impact to other people in our lives. And we read it in the books and we know it intellectually. I know that if I give my son or my husband my full presence, I know that that matters to him and them. However, I can discount it in myself and I can look to, well, how am I doing with this? How am I doing with that? I'm not making, or I'm not doing enough here. I'm not doing enough there. But truly, the quality of your being is the gift, the greatest gift. And so for those of you who are interested in expanding your career, your coaching, your practices, getting out of your own boxes, all the things, we want to be so connected with our soul self, our being self, our essence, that whether it is that we're looking to get into a relationship, whether it is that we're looking to repair a relationship, whether it is that we're seeking to expand or scale our business, you want to come from the soul essence of you. And that is another thing that we do in the certification program. And I'm kind of going to use that as just a segue to very quickly, one of the things I wanted to do is I wanted to share with you all, I screen shared a little bit yesterday. So let me see if I can screen share again today. Hang on one second. I'm going to screen share something different today. Hang on. Here we go. All right, let me just screen share one second. I wanted to just give you guys a little bit of a peek into the visual of the certification program for those of you who may be interested. So the visual here, if you can all see the screen. Yesterday I shared some of the actual PDFs. So I like to give you a lot of different visuals because people learn in different ways. So I'll give you pictures, I'll give you different images, but I also give some written because people also like to read that is another way to ingest the material. So I just wanted to show you these two things quickly. So this is just like this is week 1 introduction, the principles of soul care and spiritual psychology, the principles, why spiritual psychology. So this is just to give you a little bit of an idea why I believe so passionately about experiential and what makes this program different than some of the talk, either therapy and or courses that you may take. As you saw these last couple of days, everything I do starts inside of the body, within the body, in the nervous system, in the heart, so that we actually end up manifesting in our physical life because we're manifesting all the time from your nervous system. So I'm seeking to get into your nervous system and through experiential processes, assist you to heal at the cellular level, transform at the cellular level. And so anyway, why experiential? I won't stop for all of these, but this just gives you a little bit of an idea. So I go through some of the principles. It is our consciousness that heals and transforms. There's nothing to fix. So I go through some of the principles here. And then we also always have journaling prompts. So here are some of the journaling prompts. I'm going to go just quickly to one other thing I wanted you guys to see here. This is week 6, the emotional messenger system. When I go through and share the different processes and practices and skills that you'll be using within yourself, with your children, your spouses, your clients, whomever, I will always go through. I showed you the spiral of transformation yesterday, so I'll show it to you in a different way today. You'll always start with a centering, an intention setting, and then we'll go through the different skills, and I will literally be showing you what are some of the actual questions that you can ask your child, questions that you can ask your spouse, questions you can ask a client in front of you, how to be still and allow someone to go deeper inside, how to not interrupt someone's process, whether it is your own child. Just yesterday, Jamie and I were at the dinner table. We're having this great discussion. And just yesterday, he said something and I could just feel myself how challenging it was for me to not interrupt his process. I wanted to say something. And I can tell you that when you learn not to jump in on someone's process, and it is a learning, it is a practice, what someone will say to you, whether it is your child, whether it is a client in front of you, when you can learn not to interrupt a space, what comes after a person's pause will be brilliant. It will truly be their soul speaking to themselves. But more often than not, we interrupt our own process and we interrupt the process of another. And that is why I do so many guided processes, and they're slow and they take time so that you get used to being within your own stillness so that you can treasure someone else's stillness. It's very challenging in a group because if you're the person in the group that's holding the space, someone else may just jump in there. But in any case, it is the way. It is the silence. It is your own sacred relationship to the silence and your own sacred relationship with the silence of someone else. I was also on the phone with someone I won't disclose, but it was just the other day, and it touched me so much because the person actually said to me, and we were on the phone, so we literally could not even see each other. We were on the phone, and this person said to me, "Oh, you're feeling empathy for me right now, aren't you?" And I said, "Yes, I was." That person could literally feel my energy She wasn't even seeing me. That is how potent and how powerful our energy is, which comes all the way back to Sally singing in the choir. Her energy is potent. I feel, I receive her energy. Everyone is always feeling and receiving our energy. So I'm pretty passionate about how to really embody that sacred, spacious energy within us that has to do with healing the parts that don't allow that spaciousness and also bringing it then to others in our life. So then the last thing I'll share here is just I wanted to just show you like some journaling prompts. There's always journaling prompts. This happens to be about unmet needs. What are your beliefs around needs and meeting them? You know, what are the emotions you find yourself experiencing? Observe and record a few examples. So there's always a lot of journaling prompts. Okay, so let me just see how I stop screen sharing. Okay, so that just gives you a little bit of a peek in addition to the ones that I showed you yesterday. And then just lastly, I would love for any of you who have gone through certification, I want you all to meet each other. So if you've gone through certification and you would be willing to just come on and share and a little bit, please do the little raised hand icon at the bottom so I can see you on the screen. And I don't call you out if you're not intending. And while somebody's getting the courage to come on, please, somebody, I also just want to say a quick few logistics. So for certification, it is the marrying of spirituality, the soul, with all the psychology modalities. And we meet once a week. So it's just like this. It's you meet once a week. If this is all you have time for, it will be sufficient. We'll go from the end of January through the beginning of June, 5 months. If what you can make space for in your life is meeting once a week, that's cool. In addition to that, so there'll be the once a week. In addition to that, you have the option of being part of a small group. And those are incredible. You get a lot of individual attention to take what would be. So for instance, today we did the bridge process. Whatever else I would be teaching, then you bring it into your small group and you bring how you are practicing that in your actual physical, tangible, practical life with your relationships in your life, whatever's going on, your career, you work with that. It's very practical in the small groups. It's very intimate. You'll make lifelong friends. You will have the option to do dyads with each other and practice the skills. And you'll also receive a large amount of supplemental material from the PDFs that I just showed you to hours. I want to say it's 80. I can't remember the exact amount, but hours of pre-recorded videos where I'm teaching different skills and practices, different aspects of the soul, different aspects of spirituality, and the different psychological modalities. But also, you get to watch me coach other individuals, and that's really cool. So, the coaching I'll do also during the 5 months. It's another way that we get to know each other very deeply. So, if your soul is calling you to be more in 2025, it's a deep dive and it's a transformational journey of a lifetime. I do allow you guys to come back through. This is going to be the last year I'm going to offer for you to come back through free. But I will say that there have been many of us that we've been coming back since Collective One. And I don't, you're not supposed to make promises, but I'm just going to promise it's really good. You're going to want to come back again through. So if you're thinking about not doing it now, do it now so that you can come back through. And then now I really just want you to meet a couple of people. So you're going to meet Sally and Harry. So Sally, I'm going to ask you to unmute yourself. And Was there a, okay, you need to
Got it.
unmute. There you are. Is there a particular
Yes.
area that you feel that certification really spoke to you around?
Oh, at least one of the big ones is um, the emotional messenger system, and really learning how to listen and be receptive and be uh, willing to hear and respond to myself in a different way. Having come from a traditional psychotherapy practice background, and thinking, well, I'd love to take this class because now I'd like to do spiritual life coaching. But I found that in addition to learning how to do spiritual life coaching, I just got so much for my personal development, for my emotional development, and spiritual development for sure, really. And this will be my third time through. And the first two times, each time I got so much from it, from your teaching and from your presence and from the other people who are in this incredible group, that I'm just thrilled to go through it again. And I highly recommend it. I just think you couldn't invest yourself in anything more valuable.
Mm, thank you. I so appreciate that you came from a traditional therapy background. I really appreciate you saying that because, as I was saying yesterday, and specifically around the emotional messenger system, what I'm seeking to bring into these 5 months is hopefully what isn't already out there. I'm really passionate about I'm hungry to see everything that's out there, and from working with clients, you begin to see patterns of what isn't covered out there. And so I appreciate what you're saying because even in the therapeutic world, we're just learning how to truly we read so much of it, but it's so much neck up. And we're really learning how to be present with the darker, more intense, hurting, grieving places within us that we hear we're supposed to be present with them and hold space for them. But we don't often have someone holding our hand or going through it together with other individuals where we actually are doing that. So I
Right.
appreciate that you there's a whole part of the course called the emotional messenger system, and it really is learning. And you also referenced your personal life because I will say for me, certainly with seeing clients and students, I mean my practice exponentially expands and scales because of it's not just that you would think it would be more out there, but it just isn't. But also, I can just feel you mentioned, your own personal transformation. I can just feel the different me as I am with Will or with Jamie. And I know you have a son. And so I just appreciate also you're not only a therapist and now a spiritual life coach, but also you're referencing your own personal transformation. And then this is Sally, everybody, that I said you got to live stream Agape, especially on the Agape Choir Sundays, because Sally will light you up. I'm always in the first row, always seeing your bright face. So thank you so much. And I look forward to going through with you again. And I'm going to now bring on Harry. Come on,
Here,
Harry, unmute yourself.
I did. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear
Okay,
you.
okay. Hi, everybody. I want to speak this word for Susie. Um, I am an artist. I'm a fast thinker, a fast talker, a fast, you know, and I've never had a problem with being authentic in my art as an artist. I never had those doubts, but I definitely had a very problematic relationship with chasing people around in my personal
Mm,
life who were not environments of love, or I love them and they didn't love me, or
Mm,
proving myself to them, or feeling like I had to twist myself into a pretzel to hold their attention or be compelling enough to hold their attention. And I know that after 20 years of psychotherapy that this comes from my father. He had many great qualities, but he was a narcissist. And but I couldn't seem to break this pattern after all the uh, beautiful and wonderful and smart um, psychologists, psychiatrists, everything that I had, yoga practices, everything, everything. And it was really only after doing the certification course that it it dissolved. I can't explain it any other way than like I if you were, let's just say, a smoker, like I just don't feel the need to smoke anymore. I
mm,
just don't feel the need to chase around these people, the one person who doesn't want to value me or honor me or see me or love me or whatever,
mm,
and to instead put myself in environments of love, which I have so many of. And I knew that even at the time, but I couldn't put myself there because I was
mhm,
so busy with the one person, the one person.
mhm,
So I want everyone on the call to know that was a very sticky issue for
mhm,
me. And now that I don't chase around the one person, and I I put myself in environments of love with the people who really do, who really are my collaborators, who really are my kindred spirits, like-minded people who, my entire life has opened up. My creative work has opened up. My opportunities have opened up. My like availability of mind, body, spirit has opened up. And I know that, you know, what I'm saying might sound like an addiction, and I think it was
mhm,
why I went to Al-Anon also. But even that couldn't break it. So now that I've done the certification course, which I resisted at first because I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm too fast. I'm no. Everybody's like not gonna go as fast as me. And I realized I'm slow at this stuff. And I don't even say that with judgment. Like I can be fast of mind, but slow of transformation. And that's okay because the way that I transformed is so powerful that it really changed my life forever. And so I just think that, Susie, you are brilliant. I help artists. It's not hard for me to help other artists, um, but it was hard for me to help myself.
mhm.
So,
Harry, I love what you're saying. I don't know if this is the precise phrase for you, so forgive me if it's not a perfect fit, but I'm really coming full circle to part of what Christina had talked about earlier about self-abandonment. Because when I look at your journey and when any one of us comes from, and you look at whatever in your childhood had either been neglected or infused with trauma, to any of those differing degrees, what happens is, and we don't necessarily have to call it self abandonment, but what I'm hearing you say is that, because of what you did or didn't receive in childhood, you were chasing after that one person. I mean, I so hope one of the things, I think I'm digressing on my own digression, but one of the things I hope you guys are catching is that we're a very close community. Because when I hear Harry saying, a little bit about her childhood and then chasing that one person, A, I can so relate. B, don't you all just feel so much compassion? Have you ever like chased after that thing? And it might not be a person. Maybe it was money. Maybe it was a career. Maybe it was a car. Maybe it was a whatever, a ring, whatever. And what I am hearing you say, Harry, is that what had you, it is an addiction. When we have self-abandonment, then we're addicted to the external because we're not centered and have an intimate, a real intimate relationship inside of ourselves. So, to the degree that we don't have a real intimate relationship inside, of course, we're going to look externally. We're just trying to get it. It makes so much sense. It's why I say it's so understandable. So, what I'm hearing you say is that through the certification, you really learn to have that inner relationship with yourself. And that does heal an addiction.
Yeah.
That is what heals an addiction
And
to the degree that
I
you
would
were,
agree. Yeah.
yes, you're full
And
inside.
so
Yes.
I wake up in the morning and I chase after my own
Yeah.
passion, my own relationship my, with with art, which is my higher power, with being an artist and the amazing collaborators that I have. And
Yeah.
I'm free from what held me for a long time.
Yeah.
So,
And I want to say one more quick thing to your sharing that I think is worthy of giving some space to is you are very fast, and I think to a degree, many of us have been trained to be quote fast of the mind because we're trained to be fast of this world. Like I've got to drop my kid off to three different things, or I've got three different meetings, I have this or that. And I personally so acknowledge what you said. You said with no judgment on yourself that you're fast of the mind, but slow of the transformation. And I think that's worthy of speaking to because it's a big part of certification is creating inner spaciousness because none of us transform, we're not meant to transform. Well, it's not that we're not meant to transform quickly, it's that in order to transform in the way that Harry is speaking about for the rest of your life, in order to get that degree of transformation, you need to have access to the soul part of you, the essence of you. And that is the part that to connect with your soul takes spaciousness. And in a world that is teaching us to be fast, 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 there's nothing wrong with that. It's nothing. I'm a fast person too. I love that about myself. And if you want to truly transform for the rest of your life, we have to inwardly slow down so that we can connect to these essential aspects of ourselves that actually will fill us from the inside out. So it's no mistake that you said you're quick on the outside, slow to transformation. It's that what you learned is the spaciousness inside to connect to the soul aspects of you that are overlooked in our culture. At best, we read about them, but reading about them is not connecting to them inwardly and giving yourself an inner experience. And I just can't say that, articulated enough. That is what I would hope would be, a huge takeaway for everyone is what Harry's speaking of, this inner spaciousness to really get to know these places inside of you. And more than that, get to know what they need from you. And more than that, get to know how to give it to yourself. So I
exactly.
think, yeah, I
Incredible.
thank you too. I
Oh,
thank you too
yes.
for
Thank you. Thank you.
sharing.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I guess two just quick last things. I am offering a $750 discount to you all. I do want to, is it a real word, incentivize? I want to give you incentive to commit for two reasons. One, I know that when I commit to something, the moment I commit to it is when my transformation starts. And the course doesn't start until the end of January. But we will be, meeting between now and then. So you're going to get invitations to be in this environment, this energy. You can get the prerequisites so you can already start. I know Sina has been doing some of the prerequisites. And so take advantage of $750 off. Do it. And I do offer it as an incentive. And there were two things I wanted to say, and I'm forgetting the other one, so guess I'm not meant to say it. Oh, yes, I remember it now. That I am available, and any of these coaches are available to you. We have, 200 coaches now, and any one of them would be so available to talk to you. If you have any questions and you're on the fence and you just need person to person conversation before pressing the little I enroll button, please reach out to me. My email is suzi@suzilula.com. I'm happy to talk to you. Devin, Sally, Harry, anyone from yesterday, Milana. I mean, we have so many coaches. They're wonderful. And they'd love to talk to you as would I. And I thank you all. So let's just take a moment to regroup here. I want to go all the way back to the beginning today, which is to see yourself on that bridge, to see that the sky is so blue, the sun is shining to such a degree that you actually now see that the rays of the sun are not even the rays of the sun. They are actually the rays of your own light. So as you come full circle to completion for this time together, you are connecting perhaps more deeply to recognize that these rays are the rays of your own light. And trust me when I tell you that the rays of your own light are calling to you. I'm just recounting some of what we've shared today. The rays are calling you to transform out of self-abandonment. The rays are calling you to transform out of any boxes or constrictions that you may still have yourself in, concerned about what you think others might think. The rays of the light are calling you to heal the places inside of you so that you can shine unabashedly in your life. The rays of the light are shining and calling you to transform any and every aspect of scarcity that we have all encumbered in our life. We have all ingested in living in this world. This world is hungry for you to feel scarce. So for all of the different rays of your light, this is a moment to recognize your light, to see the reflection that there are places inside of you that are calling to you. And whether it is by meeting together once a week for 5 months here in this next steps, which I certainly hope those of you who feel called will commit to that calling, answer that calling. But in whatever way you are meant to answer your own soul's calling, may it come to you easily, may it come to you gracefully, may it come to you in such a way that you don't recognize yourself 5 months from now. So I'm grateful, and then whenever you feel ready, gently open your eyes. I wish for every one of you such a beautiful, rich-filled holiday season. I'll be doing a few more masterclasses in January. We'll gather again. But if you want the $750 off, which I would, take advantage of that now. If you'd like a personal conversation, please reach out to me. Happy to do so. And just always feel so happy and privileged to have gotten to do a little bit of deep dive with all of you, especially for those of you who I'm just getting to know. I'm just meeting. It's really neat to be meeting more like-minded, like-hearted individuals. So thank you for investing your time over the next couple of days. And I look forward to many more meetings to come. The cost of certification is $55.55. So with the $750, it's $47 something. And I will send out a recording with the replay. I just don't happen to have the link right now in front of me, but I'll send the link out so that you guys can see all in writing, visually, all the different aspects of certification for those of you interested. And hi, Karemi, it's so great to see you. So great to see you here. I was thinking of you and your beautiful husband and son just the other day, as a matter of fact. Thank you, Devin. All right, so much love, everyone. I look forward to seeing you in January, if not before. Have beautiful holidays, and reach out to me. Reach out to me about certification. Much love, everyone.